Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Tonight back with Mature Racing Club and their flagship Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship. So we are doing the penultimate race now. This one's at, as you can see there, Lago Maggiore, the GP layout, probably my favourite track on the entire game. I love it here. I always seem to do well. I seem to lap. The key thing is I'm not necessarily fast, I'm just consistent on the track. So as you can see, we'll go through the grid in just a second actually. So there'll be a video out tomorrow which is the final race. This one I entered into it with an 11-point lead over B-rated, who's just out of shot but is in second position on the grid. So I did have a good sort of advantage coming into this race, but I still needed results basically. I needed to outscore B-rated in order to secure the championship. My fellow Michelin counterparts has 91 who grabbed pole with a really good lap. I can't remember what the time was now, but I was a good sort of 6 tenths off him. He's pretty much clinched promotion already. I believe he's in third. And then Mutt36, who's in fourth, is in fourth in the championship coming into this race. He's in the risk zone, so Viali can still get him, and Dark Smoker, if he has some good results, can still get him as well. So let's have a bit of a flick through the grid. So it has 91, who's running a special livery just for this round. So today, the Maggiore race and Nords, he's running this like abstract, weird, bloody, makes your eyes hurt if you stare at it for too long livery. And then B-rated, Mr. Pieman, Ginster's Mobile, call him what you want, Beast from the Northeast, he's in second position. Again, a decent qualifying lap. Myself, I had potential for a faster time, but just couldn't really string it together. I didn't get a bad time together, to be honest, but I felt I could go faster. I'm in third. We're going to start getting crowded out now, so we'll go to this view. But Mutt 36 in fourth with a decent time. Dark Smoker had a bit of a shocker of a quali. I rewatched his stream last night, and before we get underway we'll talk about him, because I know he gives me a shout out, so I'm going to return the favour. But still not a bad position to be starting from. Viali in the first non-Porsche, so obviously that GTR should be decent off the line. So Viali is actually in a fight with the guy ahead of him for potential promotion. SHAREfactory, who is normally up at the top battling for podiums, is down in 7th at the minute. Steve Stone's in the next non-BMW, next non-Porsche in the BMW, in his Budweiser mobile. He's in 8th. Turner in his fellow BMW compatriot is in 9th. We've got Evil Cat in 10th, and TR Owen, who I don't think set a lap. I seem to remember he came into the lobby quite late, so there was someone that entered late, I can't remember who. So yeah, we'll get underway in the race in a minute. If you want to watch Dark Smoker's POV of the race, head over to his YouTube channel. There is going to be a link in the description below. He streams these races from his perspective. He also does a lot of commentaries for P1 Racing, for NGR and for Mature Racing Club. He does a lot of commentary work for them. It's definitely worth checking out. The commentaries are pretty swear free, so if you watch your videos with kids around, I'd recommend you check out the commentaries, and probably should avoid the live streams, especially the ones that cover tonight's races. So let's get underway. A little bit of action to cover off, so let me just get my notes up, and we'll get this show on the road, ladies and gents. So everyone gets away quite well. Has91 doesn't get a brilliant start. I get an absolute leap off the line. I take B-rated pretty much straight away. And then coming into the first corner, you're just going to see a car fly, and B-rated gets a little bit of a punt in the back. We'll go back and cover that just in a second. You see Haz has kept his lead to me. And SHAREfactory up into third with Mutt. Dark Smoker's made a bit of a jump at the start. Viali in 6th. Steve Stone 7th. And then pretty much as they were, unless you're this guy. So let's go back and sort of see what happens. So we'll go on board with B-rated for his start. So we're going to chase cam view for the purists who will love this. So coming away, as you can see, I've got the jump on him a little bit. What B-rated does is it gives loads of room, knowing cars will be launching up his inside. But I think SHAREfactory just either didn't brake or forgot to brake or just got caught out by the brakes. But if we go on board with him, you'll see a lot of people are braking. A lot of people are braking already, and he's not on the brake pedal. So however you cut it, is late braking. He then flies up the inside. He's starting to put a steering in, so he's trying to obviously avoid it. My course of action at this point potentially would have been to sacrifice myself rather than hit someone, and I might have even steered the other way. And you'll see what happens here. It just gives him a tap. That sends B-rated into the realm, unfortunately. B-rated is going to have a lot of work to do now in order to catch up. Meanwhile, for me, I'm on the back of clinging onto the back of Has 91. Has gives me tons of room, and I'm able to slip and move the inside of turn 4. Yeah, basically that's my involvement with other cars, as you see Steve Stones get it wrong on the exit of turn 4. So that's me pretty much gone. SHAREfactory looks to have gone deep against Has and has sort of gone off the road now. Smooth's going on the back, so it looks like Turner's just made a move on TRO in. Evil Cat looks like he's trying to do the same thing. You're going to have B-rated in the background getting himself back up to speed as well as this pack. And most of this coverage tonight is going to be this pack that you're watching. So sort of 2nd to 6, relatively glued together the entire race. It's actually a really good battle. I was on a party chat with B-rated when this was all going off. So I was privileged to a lot of the action that was happening. SHAREfactory goes for a move up the inside of Dark Smoke, but doesn't make it happen. So SHAREfactory down to 5th now. Looks like Dark Smoke has kept that position, so he's had a really good start. Got off the line well. He's currently chasing down Mutt, who's in the last podium position. So currently it's a Michelin 1-2-3 with me, Has and Mutt leading the way. SHAREfactory is coming under pressure from Viali. So Viali currently the first non-Porsche. The GTR is actually quite good here because it's grippy. He makes a lovely move down the inside of SHAREfactory. He's got the inside line. He's going to get this move done. But the GTR just struggled on anything that required power. The Porsche had a good few miles an hour on it top end, and you could just sail past this thing. So unfortunately that sort of let Viali down. SHAREfactory is going to make a move up the inside. Does he make that stick? He does. Viali looks to have got on the brakes a little bit early in anticipation of that, so good driving from Viali. Turner's picked up a little bit of a track cut penalty, quite easy to get. I got a couple of them in the race even though I wasn't racing anyone. B-rated's already up to 8th position. So occasionally in this we're going to follow him because his recovery drive is incredible in my opinion. But you'll see that as we progress. Coming into this corner now. I haven't really got names these corners. I'm just going to go this corner, that corner, the hairpin, or the S's that we're coming into now. Has 91 and Mutt getting quite tasty. Problem is the more these two fight, the slower it's going to make them. They should just be aiming to bolt away from the rest now, because as you can see on the mini map on the top right and visually as well, I'm running away at this minute in time. So we'll see how everyone gets on. So B-Rate chasing down Turner. Going to go for an audacious move down the inside of the hairpin. Turner sees it, gives him lots of room, and that one's made nice and clean. So again, good driving from these guys. Turner could have shut the door, but opted not to. Not necessarily saying he let B-Rate through, but chose to open the door for him a little bit instead. So Dark Smoke is now coming under pressure from SHAREfactory, who himself has dropped Viali off a little bit. B-Rate is now a little bit of clean air and will want to catch up to the pack ahead, because realistic, whatever the guys ahead are fighting, he's giving B-Rate a chance. You need 5 cars there in the space of a couple of attempts. Mutt pops his nose out. Mutt's going to get the move done, but Has is going to have the inside line coming into the very tight right-hander, so Has should get the move sort of boxed off on exit. Don't think he does. Much gets a better drive out of the corner. So it's Has in third position now. CJW-Racing slides up the inside of Viali, comes a little bit of contact with Dark Smoke, but manages to save it. Don't think it really hurt either of them, to be fair, that one. Let's see how this one develops. You can see B-Rated was really catching up with these guys. That's allowing all sorts of carnage to unfold behind him. So it goes a little bit deep. He did that a couple of times, and that lets Viali back through. So Viali now getting pressured from CJW-Racing. B-Rated hanging right into the back of these guys now. Dark Smoke is going to want to hang in the tails of Has behind and get some slipstream going up the straight, because if he does that, Viali cannot do a thing about it. You'll watch Viali now just start to come under pressure from CJW-Racing. He's going to have the top end. Viali does look like he's getting a bit of slipstream, so actually he should be fine for this. Viali says, look at the drive he gets out of that corner, just up the inside of Dark Smoke. Has to almost pull out, not to make an overtake, but to give himself through. Because he's done that, CJW-Racing, it's going to go through. Almost 3 wide now going into this part of the track. Has and Dark Smoke run themselves wide. That's going to pull Has down. CJW-Racing all the way up into third position. Dark Smoke collides into the side of Has. That's Has off the track now. And as you can see, that Dark Smoke just waits for him. Obviously, if you hit someone off track, you're meant to wait. So that's what Dark Smoke is doing. Sportsmanship driving. So Viali's now defending from Turner. And Viali just clips a little bit of the grass. Oh, that's a heavy impact for Viali. You can see he's got engine damage now. That car's going to drive like an absolute heap of junk for the next few laps. That's Has 91. Dark Smoke seems to go through. Yep, they do. Catch up with the pack then. So Turner now up into 5th. A good race for Turner so far. Obviously he's had a few moves made on him, but he's progressed up the field quite nicely. We've got B-Rated now on to the back of CJW-Racing and Mutt, so from last to 4th in a couple of laps, so well done for B-Rated at this minute in time. So the story's going to be where can he finish, and he's got a fair amount of time, to be fair. He's got 23 minutes in order to make that move happen, so we'll catch up with that in a moment as the race seems to have settled down. So what we'll do now, as that's settling off, we'll cover lap 4 from my perspective and just give you a little bit of a guide to Lake Maggiore. So it's a fictional circuit, one that Gran Turismo just made, and they're brilliant at making these circuits. Honestly, it's one of my favourite circuits on the track. So braking into turn 1, you can take a lot of this curb on the left, and I obviously choose to. Just don't get yourself on that grass. Get 2 tyres on the yellow if you can, it'll pull you around the corners, lots of grip on there. A little bit of a lift as you come around this left-hander. Some cars like GR2s can take that flat, but in GR4s they just don't have the downforce. Again, you can take a lot of that curb. Just don't run too wide here, you can pick up a track cut penalty, and that's exactly what I did the lap before. As you can see, I'm carrying a penalty right now. Braking just after this curb ends. Trail brake, because the way the Porsche handles, the front end gets tons of understeer, so you can just end up flying yourself into the wall. The S is a very important part. I chose to brake quite early for these. Chuck the car in, go for an early apex, and then power through as soon as you're out of that first part. You'll notice I do a little bit of a lift as I go through there. That's not for speed, that is literally to put weight on the front end of the car. Otherwise you understeer here. So powering down the circuit, powering down the back straight into the hairpin, you can brake. There's a little light board on the left, so that was my braking point. Down into 3rd, carry the speed through the corner, and then power yourself up towards the last sector. Flat through here, don't need to lift, just need to make sure your line's right and so you don't scrub off as much speed. Braking on this just before the 50 board, trail brake, carry as much as you can onto this curb, run the power out, a little dab of brakes, not too much, and then again take both apexes. Power through here, and then you're braking for the final corner just before the 50 board and turning straight after. Try and get 2 wheels on that curb if you can. I just miss it there, so that's where I lost my time on this lap. And then power through for a lap of the GP version of Lake Maggiore. So let's catch up with the action, see what's happening. So just a lap later then, B-rated has caught into the back of SHAREfactory and Mutt. He's going to go for a move towards the latter stages of the lap on SHAREfactory. Seems to get it done on exit. Does run a little bit wide, might pick up a penalty for that, but I think he's scrubbed off enough speed for the game to not give him one, but we'll see. He's going to be lining up a move into turn 1 at the very least, I should imagine. Let's see if he does just that. So yeah, from 1, so currently Turner's the top non-Porsche. Mutt's in second, but as you can see, there's a, you know, I am sort of running away with this one a little bit. Managing to keep quite consistent lap times. There goes one of me track cut penalties. Look, probably get another one. Will I? Don't know. Probably. Lucky me. And so exit goes wide. Is he going to get a year's worth of penalty for the audacity of doing that? No, he doesn't. So yeah, SHAREfactory's going to struggle on the exit of that corner. That's going to let B-rated through. So the reason why I've picked this moment of the race is one thing that became evident during the replay is a little bit of a defensive masterclass from this guy. So B-rated is bloody quick here. He was pouncing everybody in the practice lobbies, low 158s constantly. Obviously nearly got pole. Just watch Mutt's car placement throughout the next sort of lap or two. So obviously goes defensive here. But B-rated goes purposely wide so he can get the undercut, but his car placement just means that he can't do that. So I really enjoyed watching this when I was watching it, the first replay I did. So Mutt's constantly aware as to where B-rated is, gives him space if B-rated is definitely going to get past, lets him have the corner essentially and not scrub off speed, but when he can defend a corner he will do, and do so cleanly. So he's doing well so far. We'll just go on board with B-rated for a little bit and you'll sort of see what I mean. So again, no need to really go defensive here. There's no moves to be made on the last corner, a bit suicidal if you do. So optimises his speed coming out. B-rated's probably a bit far back to make a move here, so don't expect to see Mutt specifically defend this corner. But as you can see, B-rated catches up quite a lot. So he just sort of shuts the door, coming into the apex of turn number 2, and now B-rated is going to start giving him a little bit of pressure as we're into lap 7 and nearing the halfway mark of the race. So he's probably still too far back to consider making a move as he approaches the banked right-hander. So B-rated brakes nice and early, and again probably was going for the cutback, expecting or hoping Mutt to have gone wide. But this has got to be a little bit frustrating for our Phil, who's going to get a much better run out of this corner. And again, just look at Mutt's car placement here, just not blocking necessarily, because Phil's got places he could go. Straight over to the defensive line, just not enough room for Phil to get around there. So Phil's obviously quicker at this point in the race, but because of Mutt's defensive driving, he just can't make his pace advantage work for him. Mutt, this is the clever bit. I think Mutt sort of lets him have that corner almost, because you need the right hand side of the road for the next 2. So coming to this part of the S's, stays there, goes straight back to his defensive line. Phil then has to take the longer way around. He's just simply not going to get the move done here. It's a bit of a poor exit there, so Mutt doesn't have to worry about it too much. Obviously all this is really doing is letting SHAREfactory catch back up with the pair of them. But just a nice bit of defensive driving from Mutt 36, I thought. I believe there's probably a little bit more to come in that one. So have a bit of a check down the pack then. So SHAREfactory up into 4th position. A good race position wise for him so far, but could be argued should he have waited up for B-rated at the start. It's not my call to make, but it's food for thought. Has 91 recovering after that spin on, I think it was lap 3 when he collided with Dark Smoker. Dark Smoker, of course, now chasing down this man, Turner. He was lost a position to Haz, so Dark Smoke could be wanting to get past as well in the could be argued superior Porsche. Viale, after hitting the wall earlier on in the race, will be wanting to recover. So he's currently putting in some decent lap times now following that, and he's chasing down Dark Smoker and Turner. Steve Stone's another man who's had an incident throughout the race. Will be hoping that he can just get higher up the grid essentially. TR Owen and Evil Cat round off the grid for us right now. So let's just catch up with the battle for 6th position, because it looks like this one's starting to heat up a little bit. So going on board with that, smoking his Kika liveried Porsche. So he drives for Caterpillar, but he's got Kika logos all over his car, and that will become apparent why later on. So that smoker just gets really good braking into that corner. It nearly runs into the back of Turner, because Turner has to get on the brakes early, being in an FR powered BMW. But manages to successfully avoid it. So looking back, so Turner's setting personal best times, so he's not letting this go without a fight. But even though the steering and the understeer on that Porsche was absolutely horrendous, Dark Smoke is still able to power through better. Coming down to the final corner, probably not a move-making corner, but the Porsche is just going to have such an advantage coming into this part of the track. Let's see if Dark Smoker gets a move made as we come into T1. He does. Lovely move. Turner sees it, gets out of the way essentially, goes for the cutback. Is he going to be able to get anything done in return? Good driving from both of these guys, but looks like Dark Smoker is going to solidify that. So that's Turner now in 7th. He's going to have a Viale chasing him down in the next couple of laps. Let's catch up with the action a little bit later on. Closing stages of the race now, so about another 3 or 4 minutes to go, maybe a lap or 2 more. As we watch B-Rated, who's currently in 2nd position, has been having a bit of a ding-dong fight with Mutt 36. So B-Rated's now going defensive. He's going to sacrifice his line potentially, gets it a little bit wrong coming into turn 2. Mutt's going to have the inside line. B-Rated's going to stick it though, and he's not going to let this one go easily, because obviously now the outside turns to the inside of turn 3. And that's that move solidified for now. Meanwhile, SHAREfactory and Haz91 have been having a good old ding-dong battle as well. If I was to cover all the fighting that everyone's been doing, this video would be pretty much endless, because the battles from 2nd to sort of 6th have been pretty heated all the way through the race. The field spread behind's gone through a little bit now, but these guys are going to carry on fighting. As we see SHAREfactory go a little bit wide, is that going to hamper his line for Haz? Looks like Haz is going to have a bit of a speed advantage coming up towards the S's, but not close enough to get a move made. Mutt 36 really starting to pressure B-Rated. Potentially these lads looking at being on their final lap, I think. So no, might have one more to do after this. So might as well stay with the action to the end. Mutt goes. Looks like he went for it then, too far back. I was bloody ambitious if he did, but opts not to. So looking at myself then, as you can see, for want of a better word, dominated the race, got in front nice and early and just commanded it. At this point my lead's like 20 odd seconds. As you can see on the right hand side, every lap's been under 2 minutes so far, so again just harping back to that consistency point. B-Rated began a charge back, but has had to battle pretty much throughout the race. Don't forget, end of lap, before turn 3 was last, because of some contact on the first corner. So he's done an exceptional job to get back up to 2nd place. Mutt 36, really hard fought race so far. Qualified, did he qualify 3rd or 4th? Can't remember. He was up there anyway. So he's had a really good race, has Mutt. SHAREfactory's been involved in a lot of battles as well, currently holding on to 4th. Has 91, who you will remember was involved in a collision earlier on in the race, and again, like B-Rated, has been fighting back through the field. Dark Smoker in 6th position, so you can't be mad at it because he qualified, I think he qualified like 6th anyway, so as long as you finish around where you qualified, you can't really be too despondent with the result. Viali is reclaimed his crown of fastest non-Porsche. I'm just double checking in my head that he is, yeah. And then he's followed by Turner, who has gone backwards a little bit. You'll remember he took advantage of a lot of the contact early on, and Turner did get himself quite high up, but he's drove clean. Drove pretty consistently, and has raced fair as well. TROing, I haven't really seen or heard too much from him in this race so far. The same really can be said for Evil Cat in his flip paint Hyundai. For all due respects, Evil Cat's sort of been at the bottom for pretty much the entire race, and you'll see I'm coming around to lap him. So finishing off their final laps then. As the timer has ticked over 30 minutes, I've got to do another lap, but B-Rated will come through to solidify 2nd. Fantastic race from B-Rated, really well earned, and keeps the championship fight alive to Nords. Mutt picks up points for Michelin in 3rd, and again will pretty much solidify his promotion hopes. SHAREfactory brings home 4th with Has91 in 5th. Viali in 6th, lost out some points in his promotion battle today. Will be regretting that spin that put him into the wall. Dark Smoker now down in 7th. What's happened to Dark Smoker? Let's just go back, because he was in... there we go, he's gone off, look. Didn't know about this, so let's just have a look at what happened here, because Viali was in 7th. So that's looks to just carried far too much speed into there, and yeah, just bins it coming out the hairpin. It's a nice little pirouette. So yeah, that's what happened to Dark Smoker. So yeah, that's Viali coming through for 6th. Dark Smoker comes through for 7th. So yeah, I stand corrected, he can be pissed off at the outcome of that race given that. Turner 8th, as we covered previously. Not a bad race from Turner at all. TROing's going to solidify 9th looking at things. And then we'll just watch myself as I go around. So a race win is worth 20 points, so going into Nords, this will give me, considering B-Rated finish 2nd, in fact what I'll do in the entry to the Nords video, which will be uploaded in a couple of days time, I'll go through like the permutations and what needs to happen for me to win the championship, and what other results need to happen in order for people to get promoted and stuff. I'd have to do some quick maths, which I'm not very good at right now. And I've got toothache starting as well, so I'm going to pop some tablets and maybe have some alcohol. But yeah, happy with this result. I had some genuine competition in qualifying in practice, wasn't the fastest out there. B-Rated can be considered exceptionally unlucky for being punted off on the first corner, but from a selfish point of view it just enabled me to escape on pressure and just put some good times in and run away with it. So race 9 done, dusted, out of the window. The next video I'll be producing will be the last video of season 9 of the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship, where I could solidify my championship dreams. I've got to beat B-Rated. like I said, I'll give the permutations to that in the entrance to the Nords video. I've got to sit and work all that out. So yeah, really happy with the result. I was absolutely chuffed. And but yeah, the next track is Nords, and yeah, I wasn't dreading it, because to be brutally honest, I knew I had a sort of strategy in mind and I knew what to do. I felt confident in my strategy, but we'll cover that in the next video. And the reason I bring you here today into some abandoned warehouse, probably in Albania, not sure why I'd be driving a Porsche racing car through a warehouse, but there we go. Let's talk about Kika. So on my car you'll see little handprints, you'll see the Kika logos, and that is to raise awareness and support the Kika children's cancer charity. Coming up on the 3rd of August, which I think is a week today, is it? It is a week today. In a week's time, at this exact minute, as I write this, so it's 9:30 on Saturday night. So in a week's time, I'll be sat here having commentated for 6 hours on a 6-hour charity racing event, and I'm not looking forward to that. Well, I am looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to commentating for 6 hours. It's gonna do my voice boxing. So yeah, that's coming up next week. There is still time to enter into it, so please do go and give it your full support. There's links in the description below to the Kiko website. There's links to the Just Giving page. There's a link to Dark Smoker's channel. Please go and give him a sub, a like, and some love. And there's also a link to the Mature Racing Club Facebook page. So if you enjoy the sort of racing that you're seeing on show tonight, you can go and get involved in it. You can join up just in general to see if there's stuff you like. They do leagues on F1 and all sorts, so it's well worth checking out if you're into your sim racing. And obviously the Kiko event is fast approaching. It's a week away. Lots of time being spent into organising it. We'll be running it in sort of like a practice quali format, because Gran Turismo servers will simply collapse if we try and put a 6-hour endurance race together. So we're going to do it in sort of 3 stints. And yeah, there'll be a little bit more chatter about that in the days to come. The next thing to happen on the page, so what have we got coming up in terms of events? So we've got the Nords video, which I'll record probably tomorrow now. Or I might do it tonight, who knows. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we've got the Nords video coming out. That'll be out by the end of the weekend at the latest. And then on Wednesday, either on my channel or on Dark Smoker's channel, we are commentating at 8:30 over the Next Gen Racing Race of Winners event. So the details of that haven't been released yet, kind of on purpose, just to keep the suspense in. But basically, if you are in Next Gen Racing and you won any form of championship in their latest season, you get entered into this, and basically you compete for overall sort of victor of the spoils, so to speak. So me and Dark Smoker are doing a joint commentary next week for that. I think I'm actually going to end up down at his house, so hopefully he doesn't kidnap me and turn me into burgers or something. So that's it from me for now. The next video will be the Nords video, so yep, I hope you're looking forward to that one. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for staying, and catch you in the next one.